Amsterdam, city of bicycles, tulips, tall people, a heart of European multiculturalism. Place which has been on my bucket list for so long that I couldn't wait more. So I took 3 of my fellas and went there to celebrate my 26th birthday. Right here we are enjoying our boat tour, making jokes, laughing. And I know that it seems like a perfect holiday, and it was. Right until our smiling faces disappeared.
Žovka to zakrikla, že sa nám nič nestalo.
Mne sa to stalo prvýkrát, taký to som z toho
Ale
úplne
nestalo
živý.
sa nám prvýkrát, že sme niekde zostali trčať.
Momentálne dosť bojujeme s miestnymi podmienkami.
But you know what? Let me tell you the story from beginning.
Yeah. Siege. Riley.
To sú špeciálne do lietadla.
Aký je rozdiel medzi normálnymi štuplami a štuplami do lietadla?
Tak, že vyrovnávať tlak a potom.
Takú vestu, tak keď padne lietadlo, tak sa to nikdy nestane.
Ale máme tu vypsáča. Je to iba na vestu. Toľko vypadí.
Dúfam, že nie už vôbec.
So after 2 hours flight, we are finally here. We are successfully taking our room in Bulldog Hotel. And we are happy and ready to know the city.
To je môj prvý trip, kde nemám ako keby dospelý dozor.
Aký je to pocit? Oslobodzujúci. Bude to ťažká poznávačka, veru. Priprav sa na to.
Bicycle is number 1 of all means of transport in Amsterdam. However, if you are walking, take care, because people on bicycles are also on highest position in city's food chain, and they do not take care on anything.
V Amsterdame sa záhadným spôsobom ročne stratí až 25 000 bicyklov vo vodách kanálov miestnych a z toho iba 8 až 10 000 vyloví miesta radíc.
Amsterdam je známy tým, že má najvyššiu koncentráciu muzeí na meter štvorcový a amsterdamské letisko je jediné na svete, ktoré má vlastné muzeum.
V Amsterdame môžeš ísť na túr so sociálnymi takými pracovníčkami z Red Light District vo výslužbe.
Well, we do not need that kind of experience, even though we practically live in the middle of Red Light District. But what we really wanted was to understand why in Amsterdam is prostitution a legal thing. So we went to a museum, and here is the story behind. Amsterdam has always been a city of merchants at a harbor. And what is the number 1 goal of merchant? Making money. So Amsterdammers understood since the very beginning that this is a very small city and Netherlands itself is a teeny tiny country. If these merchants were only going to do business with people who think like them and look like them, they were not going to make a lot of money. So they learned to adapt to the world around, to different languages and different cultures. And yes, they have a very long history when it comes to tolerance. They have been tolerating the prostitution since the very beginning. But make no mistake, the Dutch are not tolerant because of higher moral ground. They have always been tolerant because it's a good business decision. In one point in history, there were so many sailors in Amsterdam that city council got afraid that all these drunk sailors will run around the streets to molest the good girls of the city. They wanted to protect the virgins. So what they did is they sacrificed the good women of neighborhood to do the dirty job for them. Actually, the St. Nicholas Church played a pivotal role in running the whole sex business. And because of that, Amsterdam has the biggest and most decorated churches in country. Speaking of churches, the old church was the meeting point for free city tour, which we decided to take the other day with freedom tours. There are many companies which are organizing those tours in Amsterdam, but none of them has Shana, our lovely guide who knows absolutely everything you would need to know about a city, about its history, and about people there. I'm not going to spoil you with everything she told us, and one knows that there were tons of interesting things, but we are moving forward to another controversial thing about Amsterdam: drugs.
The Bulldog nowadays is such a famous coffee shop. That was one of the first ones.
And instead of closing these bars because they were doing something illegal, they decided to tolerate them. Because politicians figured if people have a safe space inside to smoke marijuana, then the police has all the time and energy on their hands to catch the heroin networks outside. This is how the legal framework works. We as citizens, we are allowed to carry 5 grams of marijuana on us. It's considered for personal use and you will not be thrown in jail for it. We are also allowed to grow 4 marijuana plants in our home or in our garden. That's also considered for personal use and you will not be thrown in jail for it. We are also allowed to go to the coffee shops, buy and smoke the marijuana there. Officially, it's not legal, but it is tolerated. Yes. But how the marijuana arrives at the coffee shops, that is where the government goes, that is where they turn a big blind eye. Nobody knows how the marijuana magically appears in the coffee shops. The production process of marijuana is 100% in the hands of criminal gangs. And you will be thrown in jail in the Netherlands for growing, producing, and distributing marijuana. We call it the backdoor policy. Now you grow the marijuana, then they have to distribute it, they have to bring it to the coffee shops. It's illegal, 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 illegal. It goes through the back door of the coffee shop, and then when it's inside, it's all fine, it's tolerated.
Okay, policy is one thing, let's look at the numbers too. Coffee shops pay 58% in tax. The Dutch collect €500 million of the coffee shops each year. And ironically, most of the money is spent on government drug prevention program. Thanks to that, is Netherlands on one of the lowest positions regarding drug consumption in Europe. Now some serious stuff. Here we are walking to the Rijksmuseum, the museum of all museums you can see in Amsterdam. Personally, I'm not a museum freak, but this one I like a lot and could highly recommend you to go there. We found musicians outside. And some pretty amazing stuff inside. And from Rijksmuseum to Microbia, which is pretty impressive exhibition of microorganisms. You can see there how your food would look like if you won't throw it up. Or which animals live in kids' toys. I know. Let me take you to look on something much more visually pleasant. Welcome to Electric Ladyland, the first museum of fluorescence art and probably the coolest place ever. It's owned and managed by this amazing man, who has some real passion for it. He even has a postage stamp from Slovakia.
I even forgot that was their Slovakia school. I put it there in like 1999 when I opened the museum actually there. So some of them even faded away. I had a real beautiful one from Czech a long time ago. From Prague. We used to have Prague written on the back, but it fell apart. It was from the 90s. That's the newer stuff. In the black light, it only looks like a t-shirt. When you put on shortwave UV inside there, then the color comes out really brilliant. The strongest stuff in the world for the black light is this little bottle, fluorescein. If you get this on your skin, you fluoresce bright yellow like that bag until November. It doesn't come off for 3 months. It stains your cells. It's harmless. You drink it for x-rays. They put it in your eyes for eye operations. They use it in stores in Amsterdam for security. They spray it on you. In England too. We use this for parties for 40 years. Tuberinov. All of his paintings are autumn. You put them under a black light and they change into the summertime inside there. Yeah, it's wild stuff.
Needless to say, it's not the only wild stuff in Amsterdam. Apparently, local seagulls love sweet waffles almost as much as we do. awesome thing about Amsterdam is that if you get tired of all the noisy, overcrowded and touristic places in center, countryside is just a few minutes away. You can go there by boat, as many locals do, or by bikes, as we did. We have visited local windmill, we have said hello to some cows, we feed them, we pet them, and we tasted the best cheese which is produced from their milk. Well, and that's it. Our trip to Amsterdam was the best idea of 2019, at least for me, and I should definitely come back one day. Wait, I still owe you an explanation for this, right? Just keep watching to know what happened in the end of our holiday.
Čo sa stalo? Že sme sa nezmestili do lietadla. Lebo istá nemenovaná letecká spoločnosť si dovoľuje predávať viacej lístkov, ako je miest v lietadle.
O 10% nám povedali.
O 10%. A my sme boli teraz tentokrát nešťastníci.
Well, in situation like this, there is only one thing you can do about it.
How to turn disaster into awesome experience. Tour de Bar edition Schiphol Airport.
Long story short,
Na 6.
and the conclusion, never let the circumstances screw up your day. No matter what happens, it's always about how do you react. At this point, I want to say big thank you to Livia, who have waited with me at Schiphol Airport for another flight. I desperately hope that I will have you with me if I will ever get stuck anywhere again.
So what, we get drunk. So what, we don't sleep. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we go out. That's how it's supposed to be. Living young and wild. Keep that in there. And free.
Áno, jediný záver, čo zatiaľ mám, že vždy sa otočíš do kamery a spýtaš sa ma, že či točím.
Točím? A kde točím? Tak?
Môžeš. Áno.
Táňa, točíš?
Ja som to potrebovala pre Táňa,
točíš to. Táňa, točíš? Musíš točiť furt.
Ale to bude bez audia.
Hej.
Ja to striham tak, že do soundtracku.
Fakt?
Čo trafíš audio?
Lebo mám strašne...
Ale k tebe dám špeciálne titulky. Livia sa tvári, že vás nepozná.
Čo kúkáš?
Ináč, Andrej, nie to veľmi ľudí bolo, lebo oni majú potom dvojité, trojité brady. Aj keď v normálnom živote.
A nie je to český seriál?
Kravaťasný. To rozhodne nie je český seriál, to sa točí v Toronte. Andrej, ako veľmi si už hladný.
Čo by som si dal? Dal by som si, že burger s palacinkami z nutellou. A s hranolkami. Však majú tam také tie oplatky, ne? Také mriežky, také veľmi na husto tam sú. Také karamele vnútri.
Kávu, áno. Čo?
Televíziu Markíza.